Today we will transform our game from looking like this to something like that. I decided to go with a little bit of a different style than I had in the original game, since it would be boring to do just the same again, and in my opinion this new style is way more appealing. But time is rare, so let's get started. 1909 games. Let's make games. If you haven't seen the other videos of this series, then you can check them out in the info box. And you totally should subscribe to the channel and like the video, because I have a lot of cool projects in mind and you don't want to miss them. But now let's start making some art. I use Krita for making my 2D art at the moment. I used to use Photoshop because in college they told us, well, to use Photoshop and there is no alternative. But since my needs are pretty different than they were back then, I switched to the free program Krita. And I'm pretty happy about that decision. For this little game I had the plan to make a background, a player sprite, an enemy sprite, some UI elements and some other little things. I started by creating the background, and normally I use a graphic tablet to draw. But in this case I decided to use just my mouse to make sure everybody is able to make the same stuff I make even without a graphic tablet. And because of that I try to keep the art as simple as possible. I just use basic shapes, as you can see, and in a lot of cases this is a good decision, I think. Especially if you have not a lot of experience when it comes to art. I had not really a plan what I wanted to do in this case, and that is always a bad idea. Somehow I have been pretty happy with the result at the end, but you should definitely get some inspiration from other games or from pictures, oil painting. I don't know, inspiration is just everywhere if you look close enough. I did the same for the trees and bushes, just some basic shapes, try and error, and I came up with something pretty cool, I think. On top of these simple shapes, I have just drawn some texture brushes. I have been downloading them some while ago, but to be honest I don't know where I find them. But there are a lot of good free brush packs online you can use for your art. But be careful with this kind of textures. You can quickly overdo stuff and then it will look overloaded, kind of messy. You don't want that, right? So just be careful. For the more further background I have just done some lighter straight lines that will act as trees which are not that close. After that I have done some orange light for the edges for a nice contrast. The player is a simple shape as well, and to make it pop out it has the same orange color. The enemy has a slightly different shape and it is red, but the style is kind of the same, and that is the most important thing. Be consistent. If you are, chances are pretty good that your game will look pretty nice. For the UI elements I have done pretty much the same like for the bushes, with just some slightly different dimensions. After exporting the single layers as PNGs, I imported everything into our Unity project and part by part changed the placeholders with the new images. I did the same for the menu and tried to get something nice looking. Good tip, huh? Make it look nice. But for real, get inspiration from other games, try and error, and you will get massively better. Maybe it will feel like a long time, but it will get better. And not just better, it will feel more natural to do stuff like this. I'm not happy with where I am now with my skills, but I'll never be, because there is something to improve every time. Would be boring if you would make the perfect game just in your beginning of your game dev journey, right? I'm using an asset that is called all-in-one shader to bring some more movement in the game. This asset is just awesome and pretty cheap. I love using it because it is so simple. And no, this video is not sponsored, of course. I just like the asset. No, just see before and after. Pretty big difference, right? I just put in some minutes of work and have a result that looks like this. Beautiful, let's go on. I used some free font I found online. I'm not really happy with that one, but for the purpose of this tutorial I guess it looks okay. And the last thing I changed was the mouse cursor. Pretty simple to do. just change the image from default to cursor and change the default cursor in the player settings. That is a really quick thing to do, but it adds so much to the game. That's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss the next tutorial, where we will bring the sound, music and some game juice to the game. After that, the game will feel awesome. And please leave a like, that would help so much. Thank you for watching, I hope I see you next time. Bye!